Hi everybody, it's me. I haven't done one of these in a while and I apologize, but I was going to draw one today anyway, so I figured I might as well record it. A lot of these happen at school, so you don't see them, but you may see them on my Instagram feed. But I've been drawing a lot of trucks like this lately, off-road kind of campery things and everything. I have a particular student that really likes the camper parts. So I've been doing that off-road stuff. So I'm going to do one today with more of a Christmas theme. I did one the other day that had a lot of rivets and stuff like that, and I'll put that right here in an insert right about now. So you can see there's a lot of rivets and seams and stuff like that, and I'll tell you how that came about. But first, let's just get started on this one. So I'm going to draw the road first. I'm going to try to draw a semi-round tire wheel combination here, and another one back here. I always start from the wheels up, so the tire wheel sort of combination up. So I'm going to do this. It's going to have bead locks. I don't know why the oval wheel, but like this. And then we'll do the rivets, the bolts for bead locks. I was watching Matt's off-road recovery on YouTube when I first heard about bead locks. And I have to admit, some of these monster truck kind of ideas are taken off of his current project, which is the off-road wrecker, which I can't wait for him to finish. So with the truck I showed you in the insert there, I had done the cab brake and then drew the fender in the back, sort of an old-fashioned fender kind of thing. And I drew that, and that went over the brake, and so I fixed it by putting rivets next to it, which then led to me doing a lot of rivets and lines anyway. This time I'm going to draw the fender first, but I'm still going to do a lot of rivets because it looked kind of cool, especially with the .01 pen from Macron, which is what Micron, which is what I'm using now. I love these pens. I use them for all of my black and white stuff now, and sometimes I use the PN. In fact, I use the PN the most. I don't even know what PN stands for, but it's a nice pen. So I'm going to take the fender, come up over like this. And you know what? It's organic. I would have liked that to be more slope, but it's like that, and that's the way it's going to be. So I'm going to bring the hood down and try to match that, because now it gives me a good idea where the grill is going to be. I always work backwards, so I'm going to from front to back. So I say always. So far, I worked from front to back. Let's do the cab. And I've cleverly not broken the fender with a seam this time. Isn't that clever of me? Yes, Mr. Skip, it's very clever of you. I'm going to go full pickup here, so I don't need any back stuff for camper extension or something like that. So I'm going to go full pickup. Windows. I'm going to leave a little room at the back of the cab to give me sort of an old-fashioned wraparound back window like that. Been talking about getting better glasses for my fine detail lines like this. I'm going to put some rock sliders in on it. That's thanks to Fab Rats. I learned about rock sliders. Fender, or headlight. I'm going to do like a cut fender or a grill like this. That's just to mark it off so I know which ones are black. And then, like anything I do, it starts with like I don't want to say broad strokes, but I'm going to broad strokes with a fine line pen, but it starts with the broad strokes first, and then you sort of go in and build detail with it. So this is a slat, like a stake bed truck kind of thing. I'll do this. Like that. And then I can go back and start adding details and stuff to it, and try to do it without smudging a little bit. So I'll do the door handle. I'll do sort of a big mirror kind of thing and darken it a little bit. And then for these really quick drawings that I do with the kids, I just make off-road tires by putting a little squiggle around the outside. There's not a lot of room on this one to do shocks, but I might do that too. Just do a shock strut inside. And then I'll just come through and darken this. Shade it with just lines. Same thing with this over here. Leave the shock. I tend to, you know, if I start shadowing one way, I'll keep the lines going that way. Do the bumps. The plan is to put a Christmas tree in the back. That's what we'll, and maybe some presents, but we'll see how that goes. And maybe we'll color it, I don't know, or color the tree at least. But I'm not 100% sure. So this is, I didn't put a shock there, I just realized, but that's okay. There's not a lot of room there for it anyway. I'm going to build the tail light onto the back of the fender like that. I'm going to put some chains hanging down. And this is like the detail you can do. You can just sort of like do little stuff like that. You know, that's just kind of cool, you know. I have to say that watching people like Fab Rats and Matt's, basically Fab Rats I watch a lot of. But watching Fab Rats, you know, they have sort of a rough, you know, unfinished look to the outsides of their vehicles. And that's kind of cool, I think, sometimes. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to give it a snorkel just in case it wants to go off-road a little bit. So we'll come up here, come off with a snorkel, come back inside so you're looking through the windshield at it on the other side. And then what I'll do is I'll shade the snorkel black. And then come in here and just kind of hit it every other to sort of make it in the background there. All the snorkels I've seen have been black anyway, so not a lot of room for tire, but I might try to fit a tire in here, an extra spare. Give it some tread. Again, the same kind of, you know, the bumpy stuff that we did on the tire itself. The ones you can see on the truck. And then I might put a Christmas tree right here, I think. So I'm going to do a star to start us off. To start us off. And then do this. And it's going to be tucked in there. And then this one's going to come down like this. And then I'll just do some Christmas ornaments on it like this. Maybe a present in the back, although that might be overdoing it, but oh well, we're sort of committed already, so we're going to go for it. And then we'll do some wrapping paper and some ribbon and a big bow. So now we can add some other details. So let's start with the riveting. So I'm going to make some patches where they've, you know, the truck is worn out and they've patched some stuff in here. Now, I will tell you that Paul at Fab Rats, when he does his with Ben, that they weld almost everything. I don't think I've ever seen them rivet any body part. They weld everything and they pound it into place. So I'm going to, drawing welds is going to be harder than drawing rivets, and rivets are going to give you more like detail and more interest. So I'm going to do rivets there. I'm going to say this door wore out at one point, so we have to rivet that piece in here too. If I was going to cover this whole thing, I would say shorten the bed up here a little bit. But if I was going to color this, I'd probably color everything different, or have like a body color, and then these pieces would be just regular steel. Here's the hood line. I'm going to draw, so even though I've made the hood line, I can make a latch, like a leather strap that goes over it like that. Let's see what else. Oh, it's got to have some kind of lights, off-road lights or something. And go like this. And I'm going to bring a cord off of it like this. Or maybe a hood ornament. Maybe not. I don't know what I want to do for a hood ornament, and I don't want to commit to it already, so I'm not going to do that right now. I'll think about it when I'm doing the rest of these rivets and stuff. I think it needs more patches. But again, thanks to Matt and Rudy and Paul and all these guys that I watch that build stuff on YouTube. Thanks to all of them for showing me that it doesn't have to be painted, pristine, shiny, and everything to be kind of cool. So sometimes I put, oh, this is a great idea. So usually on my tires, I write like mud, snow, sand, and water, or something like that, or off-road. Make sure I'm spelling this right. Christmas. I'll do Christmas at the top on this one. Something just happened in the game. I just heard my wife say "oh" upstairs. If you're watching the game, you could probably sync where this was filmed by the sounds coming from upstairs. Maybe not. I've asked her to sort of keep it down, and we'll see what she does. I'm going to add some shadow here. I'm going to add some wood grain. I was thinking about naming this, like putting a logo here. I'm just not sure. Oh, I know what I can do. I can do don't get your hopes up. There is no Plossville Farms, but anyway. And if there was Plossville Farms, I'm not sure what we'd be growing, to be honest with you. This is like a Frankenstein truck. I could actually do a window that's rolled down too a little bit. Although at Christmas time you probably wouldn't have it rolled down. But there's the window rolled down. If I draw the lines over the other stuff, then you can kind of see that that's the glass. That actually looks kind of cool. I'm pretty happy with that. Hopefully this wasn't moved all the way off the whole time. I just noticed it was. Put some rivets around the winch guide. Maybe we'll make this a black fender, since everybody seems to line it or powder coat it or something. Maybe we'll powder coat the rock slider too, although I don't know that you would, because it's going to scrape off the minute you hit something. And I say that like I've ever done off-roading with anything, and I have not. So I think the closest I came as I rode in a Jeep down a road in West Virginia that was basically grass. It was a big trail, and I rode down in a Jeep down to a spot. I think that might be it. So I'll just and there you go. There's our Christmas truck. Now maybe I can put a little Christmas tree hood ornament. That works. So there we go. That's the Christmas truck. And thanks for watching. And happy holidays to everybody. Happy Hanukkah. Happy everything. So, and Merry Christmas.